Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. Yeah, I was gonna say my name's Emily, but you already know my name.
Yeah, yeah, they told me.
They did.
Yeah,
Um, well, I just wanted to say welcome to therapy. It can be a very uh difficult thing to just show up to this meeting and to even have your camera on and to even say hello. So you're already doing good with the first few steps. It's this isn't gonna be easy. So this first session, let me tell you a little bit about it. So basically, I'm just gonna gather some information from you about your family, what's going on right now, and what you need as support from me. I also want to let you know that everything you share with me is confidential unless you tell me that you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt another person, or someone else is hurting you. Does that make sense to you?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really excited about it, but okay.
All right. That's no worries. And we can take as many breaks as you need to. Some of
My
these questions.
stepfather says I have to do this, so okay,
Okay. Well, we're gonna try and make the most of it. And if you need to pause at any point, just let me know and we can take a break, okay?
okay.
So I have your kind of basic information. I know that you're 15, and I know that you feel forced to be here, which I do apologize. It's not easy talking to a stranger about what's going on in life. So you're already taking such a great first step. Well, I just want to ask, why are you here? What brings you here in your own words?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't really, you know, I don't know. I don't really focus in class, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They say that I'm disruptive and that I don't get along with like the other people in class. Um, I don't understand why my stepfather, I mean, they're never home, right? So, um, so I'm a little frustrated with that. Um, and I get pretty angry
Mm-hmm.
because, I don't really have any support, but I kind of like it that way. Um, it makes it easier because I don't necessarily like being around a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Uh,
find yourself kind of isolating alone a lot?
I do, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's easier that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to necessarily deal with people. I don't really care to.
When did that first start?
Um, I mean, I've always been like this. I don't, what I don't understand is that, I think my family feels that this just happened overnight, but this is like who I am. I just, um, so I mean, they say that like I don't pay attention, and I guess I don't. I don't know. Um, I I think I'm okay. I mean, I don't. Again, like I don't really understand why I'm here. I don't understand why they all of a sudden care either, right? I mean, if they cared, I mean, they could represent it in other ways instead of just like, you know, having me talk to you.
Yeah. Does it feel like they weren't caring? I just want to kind of repeat back to you what you said to me. So it's kind of like they weren't caring and this has been going on for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like something changed, and all of a sudden they are caring and they're making you talk to strangers and just a bunch of other stuff's going on. Is that how it feels to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I can only imagine how that makes you feel. How does that make you feel?
Uh, More closed off.
I can see that. So that makes you even more reluctant to talk to someone like me, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, again, I just get really frustrated.
Okay.
And, it just makes me angry
Hmm.
because, I don't, I'm fine on my own. I don't need their help.
Mm. So you feel very independent.
I guess if that's what independent means, sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like going to school.
You don't?
No, I don't think it's really helpful. I mean, it just seems kind of like stupid if you ask me, and
What do
everybody
you like
there
to
is
do?
what?
What do you like to do? If you don't like to go to school, what do you like to do?
I like hanging out in my room and being by myself.
Hmm. So that's pretty much your hobby. That's what you do in your free time?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Jordan, that's all very useful information. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, I do want to ask a little bit about your kind of your history. So what grade are you in right now?
Oh, I can't even remember. I mean, I'm 15, so
Like sophomore year?
yeah, that's what they call
Sophomore.
it.
Have you experienced any abuse or trauma in your past?
I mean, my parents were divorced. I mean, I have a
Mm.
stepfather, so
Okay.
I don't know if that's trauma.
Do you have a good relationship with your stepfather?
I I mean, he's never home.
Mm. That must be hard.
Yeah, neither, my family, I mean, my parents are never home. They're always working.
Oh,
And I don't understand because we like have no money. So I don't understand where that stuff is going. So I just try to, stay away from everyone because you know, why should they have to worry about me? They're already trying to, I don't know, make money, I guess.
yeah, that makes sense. And I hear all your concerns and stuff, and it sounds like you're just really lonely. No one's ever home. You like to isolate. I can only imagine why you do like to isolate. It's because it feels like you've been doing that for a long time because no one's been home.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I got like a half sister.
Mm,
She's younger. We don't really have a lot in common.
okay.
Um, I don't really have any friends either. I don't like schoolwork. Um,
Do you kind of feel disengaged with like everything? Like, do you feel like you just don't like a lot of things and you feel very disconnected?
yes.
Okay, that's very useful. Um, do you feel like you're sad?
Um, I feel more frustrated
Hmm,
than anything.
okay.
Um, because you know, I I don't like to hang out with my family. I don't have friends. Um, and you know, I don't know what to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to lash out, right? Because usually I do, right? I just,
Mm-hmm.
they say I have uh, issues with paying attention
Mm-hmm.
and I can, what's the term that my stepfather uses? Oh, impulses. I have like these like control issues with my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I try to explain it to other people at school and they don't get it. And so, I don't really care about them.
Yeah.
So, it just turns into a fight, and I, they don't like me, right? I get picked on a lot,
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's not easy.
I mean, my only way to like represent myself, which that was a term that someone else told me in one of the school therapy sessions or
Yeah.
whatever. I talk to some counselor or something. Um, so I just fight my way out of it. So, I get picked on. So I think the only option I have is to just get into a fight.
Mm.
I just don't want to be picked on anymore. And that's why I want to just like stay secluded, like stay by myself.
Hmm.
So, I don't become a burden on everyone.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because I got family member or my family's working all the time. My parents are working all the time. I've got school isn't fun. I'm bullied and picked on all the time, right? And so it's just best if I just like stay in my room and just don't interact with anyone because it seems like whenever I do, I just cause problems.
Well, that's all very good information, and that seems like something that next session we can go ahead and address and maybe work together to come to the root of these issues and maybe develop some coping skills to learn how to deal with these issues. Does that sound okay?
I don't know. Sure.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna schedule to see you again in a week, and then
Okay.
we'll kind of review what we've talked about and kind of go more in depth on everything.
Okay. I forgot your name again. What was it?
Emily.
Emily. Okay. They told me beforehand. I just forgot it.
All right. Well, you have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate it.